We were expecting to come back for two Premier League games, but as I alluded to, the Champions League draw was about to happen. So, in a slight change to the schedule, today we're going to be facing off against Man U FC, and we will play our first ever Champions League game in the save as we face off against Atletico Madrid. Welcome back to another episode of Leeds United Pride of Yorkshire. So, in the last episode, for the first time, we picked up 6 points from 6 points in a Premier League kickoff episode. Today, we have jumped forwards and we are going to be facing off against Man U FC in the Roses derby, as per usual. And then we also have our first Champions League game of the save against Atletico Madrid. So, a little spoiler, you might be able to see in the bottom left-hand corner that we are actually tied at the top of the Premier League. And if we win this game, we will go back sole top of the league. So let's show you the schedule and what you've missed since you've been away. So since the game against Liverpool, we have played two games. The first of which was a convincing 5-0 win against Leicester, where we absolutely battered them from start to finish. You know, the stats don't really suggest that we played that well. We only had 49% of the possession, but we scored 5 goals out of 10 shots on target. We had goals from Thomas, Llorente, Daniel James, and 2 from Brenner, giving us a 5-0 victory in that game. We then moved on and played against Tottenham, where we didn't actually play brilliantly. The stats do suggest that we had quite a lot of the ball, and we did play some good football when we did have it, but we struggled to really convert any of our chances, and the one goal coming from Šeško was enough to get us 3 points in London, and we come home with a maximum of 12 points out of 12 points to start the season. As I said, a quick look at the Premier League table shows that we are currently joint top with Liverpool. They have played a game more, losing that one game to us. They are on 12 points also. We are going to be facing off against Man U FC in our 5th game to try and get onto 15 points. The other thing that I need to show you is that the Champions League group has been drawn, and as you can see, we have been given pretty much what the media bill as a group of death. Atletico, AC Milan, and Monaco all in our group, and considering this is our first ever Champions League campaign, that is going to be difficult. But I have a feeling that we've been building a squad to play these kinds of games, and hopefully we will be able to pull through. So, Champions League is at the back of our mind at the moment as we have a Roses derby to think about. Let's get up and running against Man U FC and see if we can't continue our brilliant Premier League form and return to the top of the table. So then let's have a little look at the lineup we are going to be putting out against Man U FC in the Roses derby. So we will start off as always with Meslier in goal, Firpo, Llorente, Konate and Nico Williams at right back. We will then have Verratti and Phillips in the midfield. We've got Brandt, Puig and Rafinha just ahead of them, with Šeško leading the line again. A few injuries of note. Bentancur picked himself up an injury in the last game and he's out for a couple of weeks. Tyler Adams is a couple of weeks away from being fully match fit, so misses the game also. So then, we are up to date in terms of all the injuries. We've shown you the lineup. Let's show you what happens in the Roses derby. 17 minutes on the clock then, and Manchester United have a free kick. They've played it forwards as far as Fernandes. Goes all the way back to Rafa Varane. Into De Jong, Chiesa, balling behind, which looked like it was going to get in, but Meslier closes it down. He rolls it in out to Konate, who plays it to Williams, up the line for Rafinha. Ball over the top for Šeško. De Gea comes running out to get it. Plays it straight to Rafinha, but luckily for United, they get on the ball and they're knocking it around nicely now. All the way back to De Gea, though. He's going to smash it up the field. And it's going to be won by Ronaldo, who puts Mbappe in. And Kylian Mbappe is going to score the first goal of the game. Thought the defender was just going to head this and get us out of trouble, but instead Ronaldo, with his jumping ability, beats the defender. I think, is it Konate? I think he's got himself one-on-one against Konate. who can't get to the ball. I'm not actually sure. I think it is Kanate. Yeah, I think it's Kanate. Gets himself 1-on-1, flicks it on, and Mbappe puts it away. 1-0 to United. In at half time then, and we are behind to that Kylian Mbappe goal. We haven't really made a lot in this game, struggling a bit with possession, only 40% of the possession, not really had much in the way of chances either, 3 shots and none on target. So I think we're going to give it 10 minutes into the second half and then maybe make some changes, see if we can't get some influence in the second half. 58 minutes on the clock then, and we are going to make a couple of changes now. The first one we are going to do is push Verratti up the pitch like we did in the last game and see if he can have the same effect that he did before. We're going to bring Kajust on in place of Ricky Puig to start that one off. We are also going to bring on Lucas Nemeka to play on the left wing, and we are going to just make those 2 changes for the moment and maybe come back with about 10 minutes left if we still aren't in the game. But half an hour left. Let's see what happens with these 2 changes. Corner kick then that is going to be swung in by Rafinha. He's going to aim for the near post. Manea's got the header. I thought it was Manea. It's actually Jens Kajust. I don't know why I saw Manea pop up. Jens Kajust ghosts into the middle of the box, gets his head to the ball. Is Manea in there as well? I think Manea's there with him. Not too sure. It doesn't matter. Jens Kajust is the one that puts the ball over the line and gets us back to 1-1. Straight away, though, United are on the attack again as Fernandes plays it to Mbappe. Ball over the top here. It should have been dealt with a lot sooner by Firpo. Instead, Rashford gets a shot away. Firpo does deal with it, and the ball is out for a throw-in, which United are going to take straight away, and Danilo is on it. Throws it to Ronaldo in the box. Rashford back to Bruno Fernandes, who smashes the ball off the underside of the bar. And Nico Williams is now going to bring it away. Plays it up to Šeško, who brings it down brilliantly for Phillips, who finds Nemeka in behind. He's going to run straight towards goal, but cuts away. Finds Kajust, who finds Verratti. Lays it into the path of Firpo, who runs into the box, right-footed on his weaker foot. Puts it over the bar, and that was a little bit disappointing. So for the last 6 minutes of the game, we're going to swap Thiago Thomas for Šeško and see if he can have any effect. And whilst we're doing that, Manchester United are on the attack. Don't know if this is going to come to anything because McTominay with the ball over the top finds Firpo. Rafinha then gets dispossessed by McTominay, who lays it back into the path of Mbappe. De Jong back to Tuanzebe. Forwards to McTominay. Mbappe now he's going to run at our defender, who manages to get a block on the cross. It goes out for a corner. And let's see if we can defend and get rid of this. We must have been able to because it just cuts away. So 4 minutes of added on time. Going to keep with it, I think, until the end here. Doesn't look like anything else is going to come. And that is that. So then, a 1-1 draw at home against Man United in the Roses derby. We probably would have took that considering we were 1-0 down for nearly 70, well, after 20 minutes. So we scored after 80. So for a long period of the game, we were behind. Managed to get ourselves back into the game. Considering at half time we hadn't had a shot on target, we produced quite a bit in the second half and played quite well. So we return to the top of the league with that point. We have a 1-point lead now over Liverpool. And we are about to turn our attentions to our first ever Champions League game in the save. So let's have a look at how we will line up against Atletico Madrid. After the 1-1 draw then in the Roses derby, we are now moving on to face Atletico Madrid in the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. An away game to kick off our Champions League group. So the lineup we are going to put out for the first ever Champions League game in the save is Meslier in goal, Junior Firpo, Woba, Ahmed Hodzic and Mineo at the back. Adams and Phillips in the middle. Brandt, Verratti and Adeyemi as the attacking 3 midfielders. And then we have got Brenner up top on his own. So a few of the players come back from the Premier League game a little bit jaded. So a bit of rotation going on here. I still have confidence that this can be a winning team in the Champions League. It's taken 44 minutes for the first piece of action, but we have a corner that is swung in, and Ahmed Hodzic is going to score the first goal of our Champions League campaign with a brilliant header after the cross from the corner. So Junior Firpo is the one to deliver it. Ahmed Hodzic gets in there, heads the ball straight into the back of the net, and we take a 1-0 lead. But Atletico now have come alive as they are going to look to move forwards. Savic, Saul, Koke, Correa, De Paul is in, and De Paul has equalised. So we were ahead for less than a minute as they have equalised in the 46th minute. You wait all that time for a highlight, two come along together and two goals. So one for us, one for them. And I thought we were going to get in at the break ahead, but no, the game had other ideas, and we are in or about to go in at 1-1. So then it's 1-1 at half time. Only those two highlights in the first half, which meant that it moved quite quickly. We are just going to keep doing what we're doing. We've played some good football. We aren't in control of the ball a lot, but when we are having it, we are looking dangerous. So no need to make any changes at the moment. We're just going to roll into the second half and see what happens. The first thing then that's going to happen is Manea has a free kick. Phillips to Ahmed Hodzic, plays it back to Manea. Phillips to Adeyemi. Verratti tries the ball in behind, but old guy, or former Leeds player Struick, gets on the ball and plays the ball to Savic. He then tries to play it forward. Brandt intercepts the ball, and now Tyler Adams has it. Woba is going to play to Ahmed Hodzic. He can bring it forwards, but goes back to Woba. We are moving it around nicely. It's just not going anywhere quickly. But Firpo is now in down the left-hand side. Turns back, plays it to Brandt. Back to Firpo. Beats his man again, crosses it in, and there is Karim Adeyemi at the back post to tap the ball in. And he scores to give us a 2-1 lead after 46 minutes. So strangely, all the goals, if you were to add or just put all the numbers next to each other, are 45, 46, 46. Quite strange. How the defending there didn't stop that ball, I don't know. Luckily, though, he's there to tap it in and give us a 2-1 lead. 67 minutes on the clock then, and we are going to make a few changes. I think the first one we are going to do is move Woba to left back, as Firpo isn't, or looks like he's struggling a little bit. Canate can come on in the middle and replace him. And then I think Ricky Puig can come on and replace Calvin Phillips, as he too is looking a little bit tired. So with 23 minutes left in the game, we're going to see how this affects what happens on the pitch. A throw in then in our own half as Woba throws it to Verratti, who gives it back to him. He's now bringing it forward, and he's unchallenged really, but can't find Brandt up the line. De Paul plays it to Suarez, who plays it out to Arias. He cuts it back to Correa into Suarez, and Luis Suarez does Luis Suarez things, gives Atletico a goal to make it 2-2 in this game. So considering the first half flew by and there was only two chances, in this second half we have had two more goals, and it's wide open in terms of who could go on and win this game now. Correa plays it to Arias, who plays it to Suarez, and it's 2-2. A throw in then as Manea is on the ball, throws it to Adeyemi. Manea is going to run up the line, plays it back to Adeyemi. He crosses it in, and there's Brenner. It hits the inside of the post. So close to giving us a 3-2 lead with just 10 minutes left, but it stays 2-2. Playing out from the back then as Meslier plays it to Canate, to Ahmed Hodzic, who tries a back heel in the penalty area. What is he thinking? Not a clue what was going on there. He got away with it though, but Atletico do get the ball and they're moving forwards now. Koke is out on the left-hand side. He's going to cross it in, and Suarez is there to tap the ball into the net. And just like Adeyemi's goal, what is the defending, or what are the defenders doing here? Not a clue how he's just been left there to tap this ball into the empty net. He'd already given us a warning with the first goal. So Koke gets the ball, goes down the left-hand side, gets crossed in, and Suarez just ghosts off of his man, taps the ball past Meslier in the goal. And all of a sudden, with 3 minutes left, we're now 3-2 down. A disappointing end then to our first ever Champions League game on the save, but it's one that we're going to learn a lot from, I am sure. 3-2 defeat after being ahead at 2 different points in the game. We played well considering we're on the road. And if this game is a bit like FM21, we used to play well in the home games and not so well in the away legs or away games. Whereas this game, we seem to have played really, really well and probably unlucky not to get a point. So we are going to go back to the home screen and have a look at where we're going to push on to and see what will happen in the next episode. A point then in the Premier League before a cruel defeat on the road at the Wanda Metropolitano against Atletico Madrid means that we are going to end the episode top of the Premier League, but we don't have any points yet in the Champions League. So let's have a look at the schedule and see where we might be able to come back. We play Chelsea next in the Premier League. We drew Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. We then have Everton, AC Milan, Watford, Crystal Palace and Monaco. And we round out October by playing against Norwich. So I think that there might be the perfect time to come back. We will, at that point, have played in 2 Champions League games, and we will play Monaco and Norwich. So Monaco will be the 3rd Champions League game, and Norwich will be played in the Premier League. So that seems to set us up nicely for tomorrow's episode. That then is another episode complete, and another episode where we have played some really good football. Unfortunately, only taking a point out of Manchester United and then nothing to show for our efforts out in Spain. But it all means that it's setting up nicely to see what happens in both the Premier League and the Champions League. As I mentioned, we are top of the Premier League currently. It'll be interesting to see if we can stay there or how long we can stay there, and also if we can bounce back in the next Champions League game and get 3 points. But if you're at this point of the video, you're still watching and you've enjoyed today's episode and the content that's being put on the channel, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel out. Appreciate everybody that has done that across the entire YouTube journey that I have had. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you tomorrow when we face off against Monaco and Norwich.